The meeting room was silent except for the soft hum of the air systems. Ambassador Elena Vasquez sat quietly at the large round table, her hands folded in her lap. Around her, two very angry alien species were shouting at each other in their own languages. The Zephyrians looked like giant lizards with bright green scales and yellow eyes. Their leader, General Zexkar, was hitting the table with his clawed fist. On the other side sat the Kythera, who looked like huge ants with 4 arms each. Their queen speaker was clicking her sharp teeth and waving all 4 arms in the air. Both species had been fighting over a small planet for 3 years. Thousands had died. The Galactic Council had tried many times to stop the war, but nothing worked. Now they had asked the humans to help. Elena waited. She had learned that patience was very important when dealing with angry aliens. After 20 minutes, both sides got tired of yelling. They looked at the small human woman who had said nothing. "Well?" General Zexkar asked. "What do you suggest, human?" Elena smiled softly. "I suggest we share some tea first. Fighting makes everyone thirsty." The Zephyrian general stared at her. The Kythera queen speaker made a sound like laughing, but not in a nice way. "Tea? We are here to discuss a war, not have a party." "Wars end when people stop being angry," Elena said simply. "Tea helps people think clearly." She pressed a button on the table. A robot came in with a tray of different drinks. Elena had studied both species for months. She knew Zephyrians liked hot drinks that tasted like Earth's coffee. Kythera preferred sweet liquids. As they drank, Elena began to speak. She talked about the planet they were fighting over. It was small and had few resources. The cost of the war was already 10 times more than the planet was worth. "But it is the principle," General Zexkar said. "My people found it first. Our ships were there first," the queen speaker replied. "Your people lie." Elena nodded. "You are both right. Zephyrian explorers did find the planet first, but Kythera ships did arrive first to study it. You found it. They landed first." She pulled out a holographic map. "The planet has 2 continents. One has the minerals that Zephyrians need. The other has the plants that Kythera need. Why not share?" For the next 4 hours, Elena worked patiently with both sides. She found ways for them to both get what they wanted. The Zephyrians would mine one continent. The Kythera would farm the other. They would share the costs and the profits. When the meeting ended, both species were happy. General Zexkar shook Elena's small hand with his large clawed one. "You humans are amazing," he said. "You always find peaceful ways to solve problems." Elena smiled. "We just believe that fighting should be the last choice, not the first." After the aliens left, Elena walked to her office. The walls were covered with pictures of Earth. There were photos of beautiful forests, peaceful cities, and smiling children. Anyone who visited would think humans were the most gentle species in the galaxy. Elena sat at her desk and opened her private computer. She typed a short message. "Border dispute resolved. Zephyrian military positions now mapped. Kythera food production data collected. Both species remain unaware of strategic value assessments." She sent the message to Earth's Military Intelligence Division. Then she locked the computer and went back to looking at pictures of Earth's sunsets. This was how things had been for 200 years. Humans had joined the Galactic Council as the newest member species. Every other species thought humans were weak but wise. They were good at solving problems without fighting. They were teachers, doctors, and peacekeepers. But humans were also very good at learning. In 200 years, they had studied every alien species carefully. They knew their languages, their cultures, their fears, and their weaknesses. Most importantly, they knew exactly how strong each species was. The galaxy was peaceful, and everyone believed humans were the reason why. What they did not know was that humans had been preparing for war the entire time. On the planet Kepler 442b, Dr. James Wong was teaching alien children about Earth's history. The classroom was full of young aliens from 12 different species. They loved hearing stories about humans. "Tell us about the Great Peace," said a small Altarian child. The Altarians looked like blue cats with 6 legs. Dr. Wong smiled. Well, humans learned long ago that fighting was wrong. We had some small conflicts in our past, but we grew beyond them. Now we believe in peace and understanding. The children made happy sounds. Their teacher, a tall gray alien called a Felrani, nodded approvingly. "This is why humans are so wise," she said. "They learn to control their aggressive instincts." What the Felrani teacher did not know was that Dr. Wong had been a colonel in Earth's Space Marines before becoming a teacher. The small conflicts he mentioned included 2 world wars, hundreds of smaller wars, and conflicts that had shaped human society for thousands of years. That night, Dr. Wong sent his daily report to Earth. Cultural integration proceeding normally. Local species maintain belief in human pacifism. Children responding well to educational programs. Recommend continued soft influence operations. On Earth, General Sarah Chen read reports like Dr. Wong's every day. She was the commander of Earth's defense forces, but most aliens had never heard of her. As far as the galaxy knew, humans did not have a military. General Chen sat in her office deep underground. The wall showed maps of the entire galaxy. Red dots marked human colonies. Blue dots showed alien military bases. Green lines showed trade routes and communication networks. "Status report," she said to her aide. "All human settlements reporting normal operations, General. Our people are in position on 437 worlds. Intelligence gathering is on schedule. The aliens still believe we are just peaceful settlers and teachers." General Chen nodded. "Good. What about the deep space sensors?" "Still, no sign of external threats, General. But the automated probes continue to monitor the galaxy's edge." General Chen had been waiting for something for 20 years. Earth's best scientists had detected signs of a massive military force somewhere beyond their galaxy. They called it the hegemony. It had destroyed other galaxies before, and Earth's leaders believed it would come to their galaxy eventually. That was why humans acted so peaceful. They were not weak. They were preparing. Every human colony had hidden weapons. Every human ship could become a warship in minutes. Every human teacher or doctor had military training. The galaxy thought humans were sheep, but humans were actually wolves wearing sheep's clothing. The next morning brought terrible news. Alarms rang throughout the Galactic Council building. Elena was in her office when her assistant, a purple alien called a Vorthan, ran in looking terrified. "Ambassador, something is wrong. Ships, huge ships, are attacking the outer systems." Elena ran to the main council chamber. The Great Dome was filled with panicking aliens. The central hologram showed space near the galaxy's edge. Massive black ships, each the size of a moon, were destroying everything in their path. The council leader, an ancient being called a Mithrin, was trying to restore order. "Please, everyone, be calm. We must contact these new visitors and ask what they want." A communication signal came through. The hologram showed a terrifying figure. It looked like a skeleton made of metal and circuits. When it spoke, its voice sounded like machinery grinding together. "I am Warmind Alpha of the Hegemony. This galaxy now belongs to us. You have 1 standard day to surrender completely. If you resist, we will destroy every planet and every living thing. This is not a negotiation. This is a statement of fact." The signal ended. The council chamber erupted in chaos. Some aliens cried. Others fainted. A few tried to run away. Elena stood up slowly. Every alien in the room looked at her. They expected her to suggest talking to the invaders. They expected her to find a peaceful solution. Instead, Elena's face became very serious. Her voice was cold and hard in a way no alien had ever heard from a human before. "For 2 centuries we have shown you our mercy. Now you will witness our wrath." She walked out of the chamber, leaving 400 aliens staring in shock. The galaxy was about to learn that humans had been hiding something much more dangerous than anyone had imagined. The news spread across the galaxy in hours. The hegemony had destroyed 3 star systems already. Their massive ships moved through space like death itself. Every weapon the Galactic Council tried to use against them failed completely. In the Emergency Council meeting, alien leaders were crying and shouting. Some wanted to surrender immediately. Others wanted to fight, but they had no idea how. "We need to evacuate the core worlds," screamed the Zephyrian representative. "Where can we go?" asked a Cathera diplomat. "They are destroying everything, General." Sexcar stood up. He had fought in many wars, but he looked scared now. "I have seen the battle reports. Our strongest weapons do nothing to their ships. They have technology we cannot understand. We are all going to die." The room fell silent. Everyone looked at the empty chair where Elena usually sat. The human ambassador had not returned since yesterday. Suddenly, the great doors opened. Elena walked in, but she looked different. She wore a black uniform with strange symbols. Behind her came other humans that the aliens had never seen before. "Please sit down," Elena said calmly. "We have much to discuss." A tall human man stepped forward. He was older, with gray hair and scars on his face. His uniform had many medals. "I am Admiral Marcus Kane, commander of the Human Defense Fleet. Most of you do not know me because we preferred that you did not." The aliens stared. The Mithran Council leader found his voice first. "Human Defense Fleet? But humans do not have a military. You are peaceful." Admiral Kane smiled, but it was not a friendly smile. "We are peaceful when peace is possible. When it is not, we are something else entirely." Elena activated the main hologram. Instead of showing the attacking hegemony ships, it showed something that made every alien gasp. Hundreds of massive human ships were moving through space. They were bigger and more advanced than anything the galaxy had ever seen. "For 200 years you believed we were weak," Elena said. "We allowed you to believe this because it served our purposes. The truth is different." The hologram changed. It showed human colonies across the galaxy. But now the aliens could see what had been hidden. Every peaceful farming settlement had underground weapon factories. Every research station was actually a military base. Every human school was also a training facility. "Every human child learns mathematics, science, and literature," Admiral Kane explained. "They also learn combat tactics, weapons handling, and strategic thinking. You thought we were teaching them to be peaceful. We were teaching them to be soldiers." A Felrani representative stood up shakily. "But Dr. Wong told our children that humans gave up fighting. He said you learned to be peaceful." Dr. Wong entered the room, but now he wore a military uniform too. "I told them that we learned to control our fighting, not that we stopped it. There is a big difference." The aliens were starting to understand. Every human they had met was not what they seemed. The gentle teachers were soldiers. The kind doctors were intelligence officers. The friendly farmers were weapons specialists, Elena continued. "We have been preparing for this day for a very long time. Our deep space sensors detected the hegemony 20 years ago. We knew they would come eventually." "But why?" asked General Sexcar. "Why hide your strength? Why pretend to be weak?" Admiral Kane answered. "Because strong enemies prepare for strong opponents. They did not prepare for us because they thought we were harmless. That gives us an advantage." The hologram showed space near the galaxy's edge. The hegemony ships were still destroying everything in their path, but now human ships were moving to intercept them. "The hegemony has conquered 47 galaxies," Elena said. "They always use the same plan. They send a large force to destroy the strongest opposition first. Then they offer surrender terms to the survivors. If anyone refuses, they destroy everything." "It is a good plan," Admiral Kane admitted. "It has worked for them many times, but it will not work here." The first battle happened near a small star called Proxima 7. 3 hegemony ships, each the size of a moon, approached a human colony. The aliens in the council chamber watched through long-distance sensors. The hegemony ships expected an easy victory. The human colony looked defenseless, just some small buildings and a few tiny ships. Then the colony transformed. Hidden weapon platforms rose from underground. The small buildings opened to reveal massive guns. The tiny ships suddenly became much larger as hidden armor and weapons deployed. But the most shocking thing was how the humans fought. They did not try to negotiate. They did not ask for terms. They did not even send a warning. They just attacked, with everything they had. The battle was brutal and fast. Human ships flew straight at the enemy, firing continuously. When their weapons ran out, they rammed into the hegemony vessels. When their ships were destroyed, the pilots used escape pods as guided missiles. By the stars, whispered General Zexkar. They fight like demons. Admiral Kane heard him. No, General. Demons fight for evil. We fight for survival. There is a difference. The first hegemony ship exploded. The second tried to retreat, but human fighters chased it down and destroyed it piece by piece. The third ship managed to send a message back to the main fleet before it was also destroyed. In the council chamber, the aliens sat in stunned silence. They had just watched humans completely destroy 3 ships that their combined fleets could not even damage. How? Asked the Mithrin council leader. How are your weapons so powerful? Elena smiled coldly. You all shared your technology with us over the past 2 centuries. You thought you were helping peaceful humans improve their lives. Actually, you were giving us the tools to build better weapons. Dr. Wong stepped forward. Every scientific exchange, every cultural program, every trade agreement we learned from all of you. We took your best ideas and improved them. We studied every species in this galaxy. Admiral Kane added. We know your strengths and weaknesses. We know how you think and how you fight. We have been preparing for every possible threat. The hologram showed the main hegemony fleet. It was massive, thousands of ships covering space like a dark cloud. But now smaller groups were breaking off and moving toward human positions. They are changing their strategy, Elena observed. They expected easy victories. Now they know we will fight. Admiral Kane looked at the alien leaders. This is your choice. You can surrender to the hegemony and hope they let some of you live. Or you can fight alongside us. Fight? The Zephyrian representative laughed bitterly. You just said you know all our weaknesses. Why would you want our help? Because this is your galaxy too, Elena replied. And because even though we know your weaknesses, we also know your strengths. We can use them. General Zexkar stood up slowly. What do you need from us? Admiral Kane activated a tactical display. The hegemony expects us to defend our colonies. Instead, we are going to attack their main fleet directly. We need your ships to evacuate civilians and protect the core worlds while we engage the enemy. You are going to attack that? A Cathara pointed at the massive enemy fleet. With how many ships? With enough, Admiral Kane said simply. Elena looked around the room. Understand this. The galaxy you knew is gone. The humans you thought you knew never existed. We are not your peaceful friends anymore. We are your protectors, and we are very, very good at protecting things. A new alarm rang. The sensors showed more hegemony ships approaching human positions. But this time, the humans were ready for them. Admiral Kane headed for the door. The real war starts now. You will see what humans are truly capable of when we stop pretending to be harmless. As the human officers left, the aliens remained in their seats. Outside, they could hear sounds they had never heard before on the peaceful council station. Military vehicles were moving, soldiers were running, weapons were being prepared. Elena paused at the door and looked back. One more thing. You asked why we hid our strength. The truth is simple. We wanted peace, and peace was only possible if you were not afraid of us. Now peace is impossible, so fear is no longer our concern. You are about to learn why every human child knows the words, death before dishonor. She left the aliens alone, with their fear and their new understanding. Humanity had removed its mask, and what lay beneath was beautiful and terrible to behold. The galaxy would never be the same again. The transformation happened across the galaxy in a single day. On Earth, cities that had looked peaceful and normal suddenly revealed their true nature. Parks opened to show missile launchers. Schools became command centers. Factories that made farming equipment switched to producing weapons in minutes. General Sarah Chen stood in the main war room deep under New Geneva. Around her, thousands of officers worked at control stations. Screens showed every human position in the galaxy. "Report," she ordered. "All human forces are now active, General," said her aide, Colonel Torres. "We have dropped all pretense. Every colony is fully militarized. Every ship is armed and ready." "Civilian populations?" "Evacuation is proceeding as planned. Our people know what to do. They have been practicing for this their entire lives." General Chen nodded. What the galaxy did not understand was that there were no real human civilians. Every person who left Earth to live on other worlds was trained for war. The farmers were also engineers. The teachers were also tacticians. The children were also soldiers in training. "Show me the enemy positions," Chen ordered. The main screen displayed the hegemony fleet. It was larger than any force the galaxy had ever seen. Thousands of ships, each one capable of destroying a planet. The aliens in the Galactic Council were right to be afraid, but Chen was not afraid. She was excited. "They move in standard formation," she observed. "Large ships in the center, smaller ships protecting them. They rely on superior firepower and intimidation." Colonel Torres pointed to the display. "Their advanced scouts are probing our outer defenses. They seem confused by our response." Chen smiled. "They expected us to build defensive positions and wait for them to attack. Instead, we are hunting their scouts and studying their technology." Near the Kepler system, Captain Lisa Park commanded a human destroyer called the Rising Storm. Her ship looked small compared to the hegemony vessels, but it was fast and deadly. "Target acquired," her weapons officer reported. "Single enemy, scout ship, heading toward the civilian evacuation route." "Move to intercept," Captain Park ordered. "Remember, we want prisoners and data." The hegemony ship was twice the size of the Rising Storm. Its crew probably expected an easy victory. They had destroyed hundreds of alien ships without taking any damage. The human ship approached from behind a moon. The hegemony crew detected them too late. "Fire everything," Captain Park ordered. The Rising Storm unleashed a coordinated attack that no alien species had ever used. Missiles hit the enemy ship's engines. Energy beams cut through their armor. Boarding pods launched before the enemy could react. Inside the hegemony ship, human marines fought their way through corridors. These were not the gentle humans that the galaxy knew. They moved like predators, using weapons and tactics that terrified their mechanical enemies. "Resistance eliminated," reported Sergeant Williams over the radio. "We have prisoners in their computer systems." Captain Park smiled grimly. "Excellent. Take everything and get out. We have more hunting to do." The hegemony scout ship exploded as the humans left. But not before they had learned everything about enemy technology, tactics, and communication systems. This scene repeated across the galaxy. Human forces struck fast and hard, then disappeared. They did not try to hold territory. They just gathered information and destroyed everything they touched. Back on the Galactic Council station, the alien leaders watched in amazement. The humans were fighting like no species they had ever seen. "Look at this," General Zexkar said, pointing at a tactical display. "They destroyed 15 enemy ships today, but we cannot find their main fleet anywhere." The Mithran Council leader was confused. "Where are their big ships?" "Every species builds large battleships to fight other large battleships." Elena, who had returned to observe, answered quietly. "We do things differently." Admiral Kane entered the room and activated a new display. "The hegemony expects to fight a conventional war. Large fleets meeting in open space. Superior technology defeating inferior technology. They have done this 47 times before. But this is not a conventional war," Elena added. "This is a human war." The display showed human tactics. Small groups of ships appeared from nowhere, attacked enemy forces, and vanished again. They did not try to win big battles. Instead, they won hundreds of small battles. "We studied every war in human history," Admiral Kane explained. "We learned from our victories and our defeats. We know that big armies can be destroyed by small armies if the small armies are smarter." Dr. Wong stepped forward. "Every human child learns about the ancient wars on Earth. We study how small groups defeated large empires. We learn that victory comes from speed, surprise, and superior tactics." The aliens began to understand. Humans did not fight like honorable warriors. They fought like hunters. "This is not how civilized species conduct warfare," protested a Felrani. Representative Elena's expression became cold. "Civilized species are dead species when they face an enemy like the hegemony. We prefer to be alive and uncivilized." A new alert rang. The main hegemony fleet was moving toward the galaxy's core worlds. Thousands of ships in perfect formation, expecting to crush any resistance. "Now we see their true strength, Admiral," Kane said. "And now they will see ours." General Chen's voice came through the communication system from Earth. "All human forces, this is command. Operation Berserker is now active. Show them what we really are." The display changed to show space near the core worlds. What appeared made every alien gasp. Human ships were everywhere. Not hundreds, but thousands. They had been hiding in asteroid fields, behind moons, and in empty space. Every human, research, station and mining platform was actually a hidden military base. But the most shocking thing was how the humans fought. They did not form neat battle lines. They swarmed like angry insects. Ships dove straight at enemy vessels, firing everything they had. When their weapons ran out, they rammed their targets. When their ships were destroyed, the crew used escape pods as weapons. "By all the stars," whispered General Zexkar, "they fight like they do not care if they die." Admiral Kane heard him. "We do care if we die, General, but we care more about protecting what we love. Every human out there is fighting for their family, their home, and their species. That makes us very dangerous." The first major battle lasted 6 hours. When it ended, the hegemony had lost 300 ships. The humans had lost 80. But, more importantly, the surviving hegemony ships were retreating. "Impossible," said the Mithran Council leader. "The hegemony has never retreated before." Elena smiled. "They have never fought humans before." The communication system activated. A hegemony war mind appeared on the screen. Its mechanical face showed something the aliens had never seen before. Confusion. "Human forces, this is Warmind Prime. We request a ceasefire to discuss terms." Admiral Kane laughed. It was not a pleasant sound. "You can discuss terms with our weapons. We are not interested in talking." "You do not understand," the Warmind continued. "We offer you the chance to rule this galaxy under our protection. You have proven yourselves worthy allies." "We already rule this galaxy," Elena replied calmly. "We just let everyone else think they were in charge because it was more convenient." The Warmind's image flickered. "This is not how conquered species behave. You should be begging for mercy." Admiral Kane stepped closer to the screen. "We are not a conquered species. We are the species that does the conquering. The difference is that we prefer to conquer through peace, but when peace fails, we have other options." The communication ended. In the silence that followed, the aliens looked at the humans with new understanding. These were not the peaceful mediators they had known for 2 centuries. These were predators who had been pretending to be prey. And now that the pretense was over, the galaxy was seeing humanity's true nature. "What happens now?" asked General Zexkar. Elena looked at the tactical displays showing human forces throughout the galaxy. "Now we show them why the hegemony should have stayed in their own galaxy. And we show the rest of you why humans are really the peacekeepers of this galaxy." Admiral Kane nodded grimly. "The hegemony wants a war. They are about to get one. But it will not be the kind of war they expect. It will be a human war. And humans are very, very good at war." Outside, human ships were already moving to their next targets. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity's greatest weapon was not their technology or their tactics. It was their absolute refusal to give up, no matter what the cost. The war changed when the hegemony destroyed New Terra. New Terra was a human colony world with 2 billion people. It had beautiful cities, peaceful farms, and schools where human children learned alongside young aliens from many species. The planet was protected by defense platforms and patrol ships, but the hegemony sent 50 of their largest warships to destroy it. The battle lasted only 3 hours. When it ended, New Terra was a burning ball of rock. Every human was dead. Every alien visitor was dead. Every living thing on the planet was gone. General Sarah Chen received the news in her command center on Earth. She stood perfectly still for a long moment, staring at the tactical display. Around her, thousands of officers waited in silence. How many? She asked quietly. 2,100,000,000 humans, Colonel Torres reported. 300,000 alien civilians who were visiting or studying there. Chen nodded slowly. Send a message to all human forces. Operation Berserker is now Operation Ragnarok. All limits are removed. All restrictions are cancelled. She turned to face her staff. The hegemony just made a mistake. They think destroying one world will make us surrender. They do not understand humans very well. Colonel Torres looked worried. General, Operation Ragnarok means... It means we stop pretending to be civilized. Chen interrupted. It means we show them what humans are really capable of when we are truly angry. Across the galaxy, human forces received the new orders. The change was immediate and terrifying. Captain Lisa Park read the message on her ship's bridge. Her crew looked at her, waiting for orders. You heard command, she said calmly. New Terra is gone. 2 billion of our people are dead. The hegemony wants to see what humans do when we are angry. Let's show them. The Rising Storm and 50 other human ships surrounded a hegemony supply convoy. Before, they would have attacked the military ships and let the supply vessels escape. Now they destroyed everything, but it was how they destroyed them that shocked the galaxy. Human ships stopped using quick, clean kills. Instead, they disabled enemy vessels and left them floating in space. They cut through the hulls slowly, methodically. They made sure the enemy crews had time to send distress calls, so other hegemony forces would hear their screams. This is Warmind 7, came a desperate signal from a dying hegemony ship. Humans are not fighting normally, they are torturing us. Captain Park heard the transmission and smiled coldly. Tell your friends we are just getting started. On the Galactic Council station, the alien leaders watched in horror as reports came in from across the galaxy. The humans have gone insane, said a Felrani representative. They are not just fighting the hegemony. They are destroying them slowly, making them suffer. General Zexkar shook his head. No, they are not insane. They are angry. There is a difference. Elena and Admiral Kane entered the chamber. Both wore black uniforms now and their faces showed no emotion. The hegemony killed our children, Elena said simply. 2 billion humans, including 500,000 children under the age of 10. They wanted to send us a message about the price of resistance. Now we are sending them a message about the price of murdering human children, Admiral Kane added. The Mithrin Council leader looked confused. But surely you understand that war involves casualties. Civilian deaths are unfortunate, but Elena's voice became very quiet and very dangerous. There are no civilian deaths in human society. Every person on New Terra knew how to fight. Every adult was a soldier. Every child was a soldier in training. The hegemony did not kill civilians. They killed 2 billion human warriors. And now, Admiral Kane continued, they are learning what happens when you kill human warriors. We do not just seek victory anymore. We seek revenge. The tactical displays showed human forces across the galaxy. They were no longer fighting defensively. They were hunting. Groups of human ships appeared deep in hegemony-controlled space. They attacked enemy bases, destroyed supply lines, and eliminated isolated units. But they did more than just destroy. They made sure other hegemony forces found the wreckage. Hegemony ships found their own vessels torn apart in ways that violated every rule of civilized warfare. Human weapons left specific marks that spelled out messages in ancient Earth languages, words like vengeance and death and remember New Terra. This is psychological warfare, Dr. Wong explained to the terrified aliens. We are not just fighting their bodies. We are fighting their minds. We want them to be afraid. But this is barbaric, protested a Cathara diplomat. Dr. Wong's expression was colder than space. Yes, it is. Humans can be very barbaric when we choose to be. We spent thousands of years learning how to be civilized. But we never forgot how to be barbarians. The hegemony tried to respond by sending larger fleets to hunt down human forces, but the humans had prepared for this too. Commander Rodriguez led a squadron of 12 human ships against a hegemony battle group of 60 vessels. By all logic, it should have been suicide. Instead, it became a masterpiece of human tactical thinking. The human ships did not fight like a traditional squadron. They fought like a pack of wolves hunting a herd of prey animals. They separated the enemy ships, picked off the weak ones, and used the terrain to their advantage. But most importantly, they fought with a fury that the hegemony had never encountered before. "For New Terra!" Rodriguez screamed as his ship dove straight at a hegemony dreadnought. His weapons tore through the enemy's armor while his crew sang an ancient human war song. When Rodriguez's ship was finally destroyed, he rammed it into the enemy command vessel. His last transmission was heard across the battlefield. "Tell them we are coming. Tell them we remember our dead. Tell them humans never forgive and never forget." The battle ended with all 12 human ships destroyed, but they had taken 43 hegemony vessels with them. More importantly, they had left 17 enemy ships damaged and fleeing in terror. The surviving hegemony crews sent reports back to their commanders. The reports all said the same thing. Humans do not fight like any species we have encountered. They fight like death itself. Warmind Prime called another emergency meeting with his commanders. The holographic images of 30 warminds appeared around the conference table. "Status report," Prime ordered. "We are losing ships faster than we can replace them," reported Warmind 12. "Human tactics are unpredictable. They sacrifice everything to achieve small victories." "They do not seem to care about casualties," added Warmind 7. "We destroyed one of their worlds, but instead of surrendering, they became more dangerous." Warmind Prime processed this information. "What are our total losses?" 800 ships destroyed, 300 more damaged beyond repair. Over 40 supply bases eliminated, and morale among our forces is declining rapidly. Prime's mechanical features showed confusion. "How is this possible? We outnumber them 10 to 1. Our technology is superior. Our ships are larger and more powerful." "Their ships are smaller," Warmind 7 explained, "but they are faster and more maneuverable, and their crews fight with an intensity we have never seen. They seem to prefer death to defeat." "More concerning," added Warmind 12, "they are learning from every engagement. Each battle teaches them new ways to hurt us. They adapt faster than we do." Warmind Prime calculated the odds. "At this rate of loss, we will be unable to maintain our offensive in 6 months. This has never happened before." "Perhaps we should negotiate," suggested Warmind 7. "Offer them terms. Allow them to keep their core worlds in exchange for submission." "No," Prime replied firmly. "We do not negotiate with prey species. We will send reinforcements from the outer fleets, double our forces, triple them if necessary." But even as he gave the orders, Warmind Prime felt something he had never experienced before: doubt. In 47 previous conquests, the enemy had always surrendered when faced with overwhelming force. These humans seemed to get stronger the more pressure was applied to them. Back on Earth, General Chen reviewed the latest battle reports. Human losses were heavy, but the hegemony was bleeding faster. "They are bringing in reinforcements," Colonel Torres reported. "Our deep space sensors detect massive fleets moving toward our galaxy." Chen nodded. "Good. Let them come. Every ship they bring here is a ship they cannot use to attack other galaxies. We are not just fighting for ourselves anymore. We are fighting for every species the hegemony has conquered or will conquer." She looked at the wall of memorial screens showing the faces of every human who had died in the war. 2 billion faces from New Terra, plus thousands more from the battles that followed. "They wanted to teach us about fear," she said quietly. "Instead, they taught us about hatred, and humans are much better at hatred than they are at fear." Elena's voice came through the communication system from the Galactic Council station. "General, the alien governments are asking when this will end. They want to know our terms for peace." Chen smiled grimly. Tell them there will be peace when every hegemony ship is destroyed or driven from our galaxy. Tell them there will be peace when every warmind is dead. Tell them there will be peace when the hegemony learns to fear the sound of human voices in the dark. The war was about to enter a new phase. The hegemony was bringing their full strength to bear against humanity. And humanity was about to show them that there are some enemies too dangerous to make angry. The final battle began at the Nexus Gate, where the galaxy's main hyperspace routes connected. Warmind Prime had brought everything: 5,000 hegemony ships, their most advanced weapons, and their most experienced crews. It was the largest military force in galactic history. General Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of her flagship, the Earth's Vengeance. Around her, 300 human ships prepared for what everyone knew would be the last battle. They were outnumbered 16-1. "All ships report ready, General," said Captain Williams, her fleet commander. "Good," Chen replied. "Signal all vessels. Today we end this." She opened a communication channel to the entire human fleet. "Soldiers of Earth, warriors of humanity, children of Terra. Today the galaxy watches us. The hegemony believes they will crush us with superior numbers. They are wrong. They have numbers, but we have something better. We have fury, we have purpose, and we have each other." 1,000 voices replied as one. For humanity, for New Terra, for home. The hegemony fleet approached in perfect formation. Warmind Prime expected the humans to form defensive lines around the Nexus Gate. Instead, the human ships charged straight at the enemy. It was insane. It was suicidal. It was perfectly human. "All weapons, fire at will," Chen ordered. "Show them what we learned from 40,000 years of warfare." The battle that followed became legend. Human ships dove through the hegemony formation like bullets, through paper. They used every dirty trick, every desperate tactic, and every forbidden strategy that humanity had ever learned. Ships exploded themselves to take out larger targets. Pilots rammed their fighters into enemy bridges. Boarding parties fought hand-to-hand in enemy corridors. Captain Rodriguez's daughter, Maria, commanded a destroyer called the New Terra's Wrath. She led a squadron of 20 ships against a hegemony battle group of 200 vessels. "Remember, my father," she told her crew. "Remember our world, remember why we fight." Her ships danced between the massive enemy vessels, striking vital points and disappearing before the hegemony could respond. When her weapons ran out, she used her ship as a missile. When her ship was destroyed, she and her crew fought with personal weapons in the enemy vessel's corridors. Maria's last transmission was heard across the battlefield. "This is for you, Dad. This is for everyone they killed. Tell Earth we did not yield." The battle raged for 8 hours. Human ships died by the dozens, but they took hundreds of hegemony vessels with them. More importantly, they were breaking the enemy's will to fight. Warmind 7 sent a desperate message to Warmind Prime. "These humans are not rational. They fight like they want to die. Our crews are terrified." Warmind Prime watched his fleet being destroyed by an enemy that should have been crushed hours ago. "Maintain formation. Continue the attack. We have superior numbers." But numbers meant nothing when the enemy refused to follow the rules of warfare. Admiral Kane, commanding a group of 50 ships, led a charge straight at the hegemony command vessel. His force was outnumbered 20-1, but they fought with the desperation of the doomed and the fury of the righteous. "Target their command ship," Kane ordered. "If we can kill Warmind Prime, their fleet will lose coordination." Kane's ship, the Indomitable Will, broke through the enemy defensive screen. Enemy fire tore through his vessel's armor, but he pressed forward. His crew was dying around him, but they kept fighting. "Sir, we have lost main power," reported his weapons officer. "Life support is failing." Kane smiled. "Then we do this the old-fashioned way. Set collision course with their command ship. Maximum speed." "Sir, that will kill us all?" "Yes, it will," Kane agreed. "But it will also kill them, and sometimes that is enough." The Indomitable Will, burning and broken, rammed into Warmind Prime's flagship. The explosion was visible from 1,000 kilometers away, but Warmind Prime survived. His ship was damaged but still functional. He prepared to order the final assault that would destroy the remaining human ships. Then something impossible happened. More human ships arrived, not dozens, but hundreds. They came from every direction, from every corner of the galaxy. Every human colony had sent their defenders. Every human outpost had contributed ships. Even the civilian vessels had armed themselves and joined the fight. General Chen watched the reinforcements arrive and smiled. You see, Warmind Prime, you never understood what you were fighting. You thought you were fighting the human military. You were wrong. You were fighting all of humanity. The new arrivals included ships commanded by people the galaxy had thought were peaceful farmers, teachers, and doctors. Dr. Wong commanded a converted research vessel called the Peaceful Solution. Captain Elena Vasquez had armed her diplomatic ship and renamed it the Final Argument. This is Dr. Wong to all human forces, came the familiar voice that had once told alien children stories about human peace. Today we stop telling stories about peace. Today we make peace by ending those who threaten it. The reinforced human fleet attacked with renewed fury. They had learned from the earlier battle, and now they fought with perfect coordination. Ships that had never worked together moved like parts of a single organism. Warmind Prime finally understood what he was facing. This was not just a military force. This was an entire species that had decided to fight as one. All units, retreat, he ordered. Fall back to the outer systems. But the humans would not let them retreat. They pursued the fleeing hegemony ships, destroying them one by one. They wanted to make sure this enemy could never threaten anyone again. The pursuit lasted 3 days. When it ended, the hegemony fleet was completely destroyed. Of the 5,000 ships that had entered the galaxy, none remained. Warmind Prime's final transmission was simple. Galaxy designated off limits. Humans are too dangerous. Do not return. The message was sent to all hegemony forces throughout the universe. The galaxy that had been marked for conquest was now marked as forbidden territory. In the aftermath, the galaxy was quiet. On the Galactic Council station, alien leaders sat in stunned silence. They had watched the humans fight with such fury that it had driven away an enemy that conquered galaxies. Elena entered the chamber. She still wore her military uniform, but now she looked tired. The anger was gone, replaced by the exhaustion that comes after a long war. It is over, she announced. The hegemony fleet is destroyed. Their survivors have fled beyond our galaxy's borders. They will not return. General Zexkar found his voice first. What happens now? Do you claim rulership of the galaxy? Do you demand tribute from the defeated? Elena looked surprised. Why would we do that? We never wanted to rule anyone. We just wanted to protect everyone. Admiral Kane entered behind her. The human fleet is standing down. Our ships are returning to their normal duties. Our people are going back to their jobs as teachers, farmers, and researchers. The Mithran Council leader was confused. But you have proven yourselves the strongest species in the galaxy. You could demand anything you want. Helena smiled, and for the first time in months it was a gentle smile. We already have everything we want. We have peace. We have safety. We have a galaxy where our children can grow up without fear. Besides, Admiral Kane added, ruling people is hard work. We prefer to let you govern yourselves while we make sure nobody bothers you. Dr. Wong stepped forward. Tomorrow I will return to teaching alien children about human history, but now they will learn the true history. They will learn that humans are capable of great violence, but we choose to use that violence only to protect peace. A young Felrani in the audience raised her hand. Will you teach us how to fight like humans? Elena considered this carefully. We will teach you how to defend yourselves, but more importantly, we will teach you how to avoid needing to fight at all. The best victory is the one where no battle is necessary. In the days that followed, the galaxy slowly returned to normal, but it was a different normal than before. Human colonies went back to farming and research, but now everyone knew they could become military bases in hours. Human teachers returned to their classrooms, but their students understood that their gentle instructors were also warriors. Human diplomats resumed their peace negotiations, but all parties knew that human friendship was backed by human strength. General. Chen returned to Earth and hung up her uniform. She became a professor at the military academy, teaching the next generation of human officers about the responsibilities of power. Remember, she told her students, we are not strong so we can rule others. We are strong so others can live free. The moment we use our strength for conquest instead of protection, we become no better than the enemies we defeated. Elena returned to her role as Earth's ambassador. But now when she entered a room, everyone remembered what humanity was capable of when pushed too far. The galaxy is at peace, she reported to Earth's government. Not because everyone is naturally peaceful, but because everyone knows the cost of disturbing that peace. A young reporter asked her, "Do you think the hegemony will ever return?" Elena considered the question seriously. Perhaps. But if they do, they will find us ready. And they will find that the galaxy they once thought was weak has learned from us. The next time someone threatens galactic peace, they will not face just humanity. They will face everyone we have taught to defend themselves. Years passed. The galaxy prospered under human protection.